And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus. Before you get too far into things, well, I should say, I guess my name is Matthew. I am your most benevolent dungeon master. Before we jump into last time, though, a couple of quick shout-outs. Big thanks to our friends from the north, Little Dragon Corp. If you put exclamation point Little Dragon in the chat, I'll give you a link to their website. Don't forget to use the discount code PROBONUS. Get yourself 10% off your order. They ship anywhere in the country. They've got a lot of great stuff. Sometimes I use them to try to kill these people. Sometimes I try to use them to keep Michael on Friday nights from killing me. Doesn't always work out for either way that I'm trying to use them for. And then another thanks to our southern friends down in Evans, Georgia, Cardboard Castle Games. Not sure why anyone would be... Holy heck, we got a Sensible Boots back in here. Nice seeing you, Sensible. It's been a minute. Not sure why you would build a castle out of cardboard, but these guys did it, and it works wonders for them. They've got Pokemon cards, Magic cards, D&D stuff, anything you need. Exclamation point CCG, and you'll get a link to their website. Check them out. So, with that, we will jump headfirst into what happened last time. As our two members of our party, Sarah and Snowmoon, well, I should say Sarah, really, decided that she was not happy with the answers provided by the Lord's Alliance and decided to break in to the Temple of Ilmater in Daggerford. That really didn't work out too well for them. They got caught by the guards, so Sarah then blamed Snowmoon for being a cutpurse, which got Snowmoon shot by a guard. Sarah then summoned a lion and sicked it on the guard, and then got caught by the court mage within the temple. The entire group was then was summoned to the court mage's tower, where they ran into a very interesting dragonborn, who, well, for all purposes, sort of sounded like a lawyer. Eventually, the party came to some sort of a terse agreement with Murdoch and with Delphin, and went off along on their way towards their original destination of Secomber. Upon arriving at the city, they realized that it took them a little longer than anticipated to get here, and it appears that the city has actually been taken over by said bandits they were sent to deal with. While Sarah was proceeding to try to sell Furia to the bandits guarding the gate as payment to enter, Murdoch proceeded to get involved and basically belittled them into thinking that they were supposed to be there, to which the two guards got confused and didn't want to risk telling the boss that they were holding people up, so just let the six of them in. After being referenced to one specific inn that seems to be among the more popular, the Seven-Stringed Harp. And with that, my friends, is where we pick up this evening's session. As they say, the story is yours. You have now entered into the walled city of Secomber. You find yourselves, if you happen to be in roll 20, you are literally just inside the southern gate.
All right, well, I've gotten us inside. I do not know where to go. Someone points me in a direction.
Why not the inn?
Point me in a direction of the inn.
I don't know, that's...
So when you guys were coming in, they mentioned it was next to a small pond near the center of town. So everything sort of, as you're looking in, it sort of comes in. These three, again, from the bird's eye view, you can see it multiple ways. From the three sort of districts, we'll call them, are all sort of up on the same level as you are. In this central area sort of dips down probably only about 10, maybe 15 feet. But as you're sort of looking past these larger buildings, you can see floating above a rather large establishment, little ways in that little indent in the center of the city, you can see a glowing, floating, almost spectral or illusionary harp just slowly floating and rotating above this building.
The quest marker.
It would be odd that it wasn't that. I'll start walking towards it.
Fairly true. Look back at those two Goliath by the gate. Did they close it again afterwards?
You guys are just right inside it, so they haven't closed it yet, but they are standing right there, basically waiting for you guys to clear out so they can pull it closed again.
I'm probably going to walk down here, but that's okay. I will follow her.
Running as fast as I can. Make sure I'm inside the city.
Easy enough for you all to get in there. As they seem to be, after listening to Murdoch, they seem to be very willing to let all of you in and just not risk any more problems.
Don't ask questions. Follow after Feria.
I'll follow as well.
Okay. And for those at home, if you notice, we do have Sarah's character art popped up in her profile. Is Sarah's unable to join us, even Sarah will be on Roleplay Light, but will be around in case, combat happens. Or I will ask the party as they know.
I'm sorry,
if there's
guys. My
anything,
internet has been so bad.
No worries. I will also toss it out to the party just in case, because again, we've all been with Sarah for a little while now, so there may be opportunities for Sarah to get into trouble here, but Dungeon Master will not put her in that. Her party will.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna disconnect from this Wi-Fi, so I'll be right back and connect to the other one because it has a stronger signal. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be right back.
Forgive us, our picture's going to go a little wonky. I'll be a double image for a moment. I don't know who I'm replacing, but... Oh, never mind. That's even worse. We're just all halves on there, so...
Ah,
That's fine.
that's wonderful.
So, Fury, you said you're starting to lead people down towards the end?
Yeah, but I know that inns are good places to get information, and I'm hoping that some can be got there, or maybe that's where the people that took over the town made their headquarters.
Oh, okay. So as you start making your way through, first thing that you start to notice, through the whole group of you, is that for the most part, it seems like the citizens of the city, other than being a little more, sort of clustered together, moving in small, tight groups, seem to be going about their daily business, or starting their daily business, somewhat normally. People aren't really hiding. You're seeing people starting to come out of buildings and starting to make their way towards other locations. Again, there's small little huddled groups of 4 or 5 people together, but it doesn't seem like they're hiding. You are noticing some individuals wearing that same sort of same colored leathered style armor that you ran into on the 2 outside, but you're only seeing you've seen in this 5-10 minutes you've been walking, you've seen probably 4 or 5 groups of what looks to be regular citizens, and you've only seen a couple of individuals from that you would assume are from this group of brigands.
Is there a building I can duck behind?
So not really where you are, not really in your area, because you guys are sort of.
Oh, okay. I
leading to. You're basically going right along here.
Okay.
So you can cut off. I mean, there's a small building on either side, but there's nowhere that's really like an alley, so to speak, or something where you'd get
That's fine.
a decent amount of cover. I mean, you can
Okay.
duck behind one if you want. If you can duck behind one of the other ones, but it's not a whole lot of cover. What you trying
No, I
to
was
do?
gonna cast Disguise Self, but I won't. So, I'll just follow Fury.
Okay. So it takes a little while for you guys to get there, but eventually you come up to the exterior of this building. As you're looking at this building, first thing you notice is the building is much larger than you would have assumed at first glance. But as you're looking at this massive, sprawling tavern, you realize that it looks like it has been put together piecemeal. It's just a jumbled mess of different, it looks like different buildings sort of attached to it. You know, this front part looks to be Victorian style. Then they've got a wing off to the left and it's a ranch style. Then the next one on the other side is all of a sudden a duplex. They just took weird buildings, weird roofing styles, and just sort of piecemealed this building together.
Oh my goodness, it's like a dog off the street, but in a building form.
As you come to the front, you see there looks to be, well, what was once a very large hitching post. It seems like that's sort of seen some better days. But again, as you're getting up to it, you see that same floating, glowing harp. That even as you're looking at it, you can tell it's an illusion. It's not meant to fool people. It's meant to basically mark this as a landmark for people to find.
Well, I'm glad they have the illusion. I don't know if we would have found this building otherwise.
Does anybody know if this is like a regular thing? Is this like a common, are there hops throughout the whole city, or what?
I can tell you that Baldur's Gate would definitely benefit from something like this, but they do not employ it.
I don't know if that helps me or not, but okay.
It doesn't seem to be very common.
Is there someone on the street passing by? At all?
You guys have passed a couple. You guys are sort of right in front of the inn at the moment.
Okay.
And you can wait for a couple of seconds, see if somebody walks by if you want to. Or...
Might as well go in, always say.
I need to observe how all of you do your work so that I can add it to the case file. So I just want to observe for now, unless we're going to try and sell more people into marriage.
Because our case file exactly.
Hmm.
And it's not exactly common for our group, just so you know.
It's not uncommon either.
Is it something we should be talking about in the middle of the street?
Probably not.
Probably not. I want to pick your brain later. Murdoch. Got some interesting stuff up there.
I would be happy to oblige you when it is appropriate. I think we should all go inside and see what is actually going on.
So-
Is the door reachable?
Yeah, it's, yeah, it's easy enough. You walk up. It's just looks like a standard wooden door.
A standard wooden door, you say?
How long do we investigate it? I'll open it for everyone.
I'm gonna go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Yeah.
As you start opening up, the first thing you notice is
No.
the interior of the building is
Okay.
just about as insane as the exterior. It's just a massive. It is literally, if chaos was a building, you just walked into it. Lydia and Snow Moon, you both have probably about 2 to 3 inches above your heads before you'd be hitting the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm taller than Snow Moon, so I'll definitely duck.
Yeah, well, so
Yeah.
then Snow Moon's probably got about 4 or 5. I know you guys were fairly close in height, if I remember.
Yeah.
No, I don't. How tall is Snow Moon?
Let me double check.
Not
Just for a contest.
tall.
6'4", so it's actually not
6'4". I'm 7'2".
that
Oh.
close, yeah.
Already then? No, so yeah, Snow Moon, you're fine.
Okay.
Lydia, you've only got a couple of inches above your head,
Okay.
though.
So
you
are we
notice-
Yeah.
saying that this is very TGI Fridays?
TGA Fridays looks like a beacon of, I guess I'll say, symmetry compared to this building. This thing
Wow.
like there are walls at odd angles. As you're looking around, you notice that there are these small, floating, lightly glowing blue orbs that seem to just be floating as you're looking down one hallway right as you enter. This orb is just sort of floating back and forth along the wall, illuminating the hallway. Just slowly back and forth. Right in front of you, you see, as you're walking in the main door, you're coming into this main sort of central tap room. So you can see the bar off in the distance towards the back end of the room. And then behind the bar, you can see that there, other than the main section with all the bottles and everything on it, there are about 4 or 5 different little sort of dead spots on the wall that have large tapestries and curtains hanging over.
Quaint.
Are there a lot of people about? Sorry, I missed that.
As you're looking around, you can see there is probably about 2 or 3 people already sitting up at the bar, even this early in the day. There is a bartender standing behind it. Looks to be youngish, sort of. Your best guess at this distance is either half orc or very ugly human.
Ooh,
Oh.
don't know. That's pretty insulting.
Just sort of like shaggy, ruddy, brownish hair. And seems to be dealing with a couple of people down at the end of the bar. You don't see a whole lot of people around other than those few right now from where you are right in the entranceway.
I'll look around, and if nobody else is gonna do anything, I'll go up to the bar and take a seat and wait for the barkeep to come over.
Oh, okay. There's your.
I'm afraid nobody could share. I won't. I'll stand behind Pyria.
Okay, what would the rest of you be doing as you watch the two of them start heading over to this?
If there's like a support pole, which is probably not straight up and down if it's following what you've been saying, I would probably go and lean against one of those that I can have more of a view of the room, but also be hopefully within earshot of whatever conversation might happen.
Oh yeah,
Just want to passively observe.
No, definitely.
I would approach the bar as well and just stand and kind of just wait for the barkeep as well.
Oh, okay. Artemis?
I'd kind of check out the whole building.
Oh, okay.
Not
Anything
not
in
suspiciously, but just kind of looking around.
Oh, okay. We'll say go ahead and make either, well, you're not really looking for anything in specific. We'll say go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh boy. Alright. Let's see. I haven't opened my character, but I will.
And actually, that's a good point. Sigma, Jesus. Sarah will help you out. So go ahead and you can have advantage on this, because Sarah is probably curious on what's going on in here for other reasons.
Either that or trying to rob the barkeep.
Let never be said we didn't allow Granny to case the joint as soon as she walked in the building.
Alright. 19.
Okay, not bad. So as you're looking around this main, without like wandering off into the sort of labyrinth corridors that lead off into these other parts of the building, within the main room that you're looking in, you see actually a fairly decently painted image of a heavily robed individual. Looks to be a human male. Sort of wavy dark hair, little bits of lighter, looks like sort of salt and pepper hair on top. Very sort of pencil mustache, but then gets wider as it gets to the end of his mouth. Standing in front of the building, gesturing up like this. And in the picture you can see he seems to be gesturing up at this glowing harp. And underneath the picture it says Emilior Amanitas.
Alright then.
And then that's really the only thing of note other than like the bar keeping the stuff up closer that you're really catching right now.
I suppose that I go up towards it and just kind of note down what I'm seeing.
As you're looking at the image a little closer, you're seeing a lot of the sort of telltale things that you're assuming that this individual is probably a spellcaster of some sort. You're seeing a small pouch on the belt. It would typically be used either for coins or for spell components. The long flowing robes. A sort of grandiose gesture up at this illusionary harp. About that time as you and Sarah are been sort of perusing over that, this individual starts walking over towards the three of you who are currently, one sitting and two standing at the bar. Sort of walks over, sets the mug down, reaches down with the other hand, sort of pulls up his drawers a little bit in the back.
What brings you in here this morning?
Oh, a drink to get the juices flowing. Although I'm kind of new to town, this is an interesting building you have.
It isn't what I have, but it's what I take care of. Name's
It's
Tuden.
been around a long time.
Tuden?
Tuden, yes.
Tootin'.
I've been working here, 7 years now. Do all the cooking in the place, so they have me open up in the morning for those people looking for something a little, get their day off right.
Well, if you have a basic plate of food, that would do wonderful. But
Salty
we
corn
had
as well.
we had a little bit of trouble coming into town this morning. Do you know what that's about?
Just sort of looks around, sort of you guys sort of looking around, see who's around right now.
Oh, you must be the, I guess I'll call them, the new law of the land, so to speak.
Well, I mean, that's one way to put it.
Let's just say that the rods have been changed. No, you said you're new in town?
Yeah.
Very.
So, our town is governed by the rods of justice. Now, up until about a week and a half ago, we had 9 rods. Now, out of them 9, 6 of them gone and got themselves, looks inflagrated, I think they said, barbecued.
Oh dear.
So now this new group has set up their own people. So now it's the 6 of them and the 3 remaining who make up the laws.
So 6 of them were burned by these individuals, and
I'm
now
not saying they were burned by nobody. They got themselves burned and these 6 people took over.
Spontaneous human combustion, that's what you're talking about.
Them's just some mighty big words there. I was gonna say little lady till I realized you ain't so little.
No, big words for a big lady.
Let's just say I could have served them for dinner.
So, how do you feel about this new change of hands?
Coin's still flowing, people still coming in, so ain't affecting me much. Ain't nobody bothering old Tootin' about nothing.
Yeah. They did make it very difficult to get inside. That can't be good for business in here. If no new visitors are coming in, filling up the inns and taverns.
I don't know what you thinking coming up here. There really ain't nothing to see in Secomber. I mean, granted, we got that fancy spinning musical gizmo up on the roof, but that's about it.
No, it's some people have their list of places they want to visit before they die. I mean, this place could be on there simply because of the spinning harp.
Sort of shakes his head a little bit. I mean, it was put on there by the Sage of Secomber.
Sage of Secomber? I did see the biggest ball of twine once. Everyone's biggest.
Oh. And where was that at? Maybe I got to go and see me that someday.
Oh, was that a port? I forget its name.
Well, I ain't very useful. You gotta
No,
see
I'm not
one
a
of
very
them
useful
clerics.
sailor.
They can help you.
I am a cleric. Oh, I am a cleric. That's
It's like-
unfortunate.
It's like 5 world's biggest balls of twine.
Yeah.
Just hope the sword goes with them.
Exactly.
And has there been any unrest in town after this change of power?
I mean, it's anytime new laws and regulations are put into effect, you got people who don't like them. I mean, this whole thing new with the protection tax is getting a little old on people, but you don't want to get yourselves disappeared, you gotta go and pay, so.
But you just said it's kind of an out-of-the-way place. Who's in danger, and, I mean, what are they protecting from?
Beats me, I do the cooking here, I actually have a room. It's down a couple of hallways, but you ain't gotta worry about that.
Okay.
So I don't really leave, but, you know, we ain't all that far from the Delimber River. I got that unicorn run out there, too. There's all the big critters and them things.
True, might come in first.
There
Who knows,
isn't
you got all
a
them
say.
delinquents coming up there from that Daggerfoot.
There's been no talk about a monster coming through town recently.
Sort of looks down and not that I've been hearing about none in here, but I mean, if you just came in recently, then you probably met them them two guys up at the front gate. I sort of feel bad anything trying to get in here without their permission.
Oh,
They
it
ain't
just
all
doesn't
there
seem-
upstairs, but they ain't pretty damn good with that axe they got there.
Right,
They
I
look
bet it lights
pretty
people on fire too.
Well, we are on the tracks of a monster. Do you know who we would talk to see if it's been around here?
Sort of looks down at the bars. The first time he's really looking away from you.
Probably the best thing would be to get that weird noise to stop going off there.
Mm,
Sorry about that, folks.
okay.
Normally I'd say to go to one of them guard stations around one of them doorways, but I'm now being run by this new group here, so I guess you're gonna have to see about getting in touch with one of the rods.
Mm.
See if maybe any of them will give you some information.
And how do we get in touch with them?
It's easiest way is to do something wrong. Well, we like to think our laws are similar to some of them big cities you hear about down yon way, but I can put some information on where's y'all gonna be staying and see if I can get somebody in touch with for you.
Do you have rooms here?
Oh yeah, we got rooms here. $1 gold a night.
1 gold for 1 room?
Yes.
I look over behind me and off to my side. 3 rooms?
Just he sort of shakes his head a little bit. That's what you want to do.
Actually, I take my own room because I have to put 2 beds together. Sorry.
Okay, so that means you
I-
had 4 rooms then?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'll
with that.
take my own room as well.
Guys, that's
Okay, never
fine.
mind.
Oh, how about this? Business been good with these guys, all these people coming in here, so I give you 6 rooms for 5 gold.
Good, sounds good. Sounds fair.
That works.
Next you're gonna tell me somebody else gonna be coming over saying they want their own dang room, so
Hopefully not.
No, I think that'll be good.
So that he sort of just as often points down to your right.
okay now and just go down that hallway there and it's gonna be the skip the first room on each side and then the next 3, so rooms 2, 3, 4 on either side of the hall. That's 6 rooms for you, and
Joran hands puts 6 keys in front of you, Furia.
I'll hand over 2 gold and I'll just look to the others to
I'll hand over.
because they
I'll
all
hand over
insisted on
one.
their own rooms.
I'll hand over 1 gold.
I'll hand over one.
Ugh, I'll hand over a couple gold.
Well, there's only 1 left owed at this point, so.
I'll hand over a single gold.
Is the 6th room counting for Sarah or for me? Because I'm technically a little bit of ways from the rest of the party, so I don't know if he's included. To be fair.
So he is including you in it because the 6 of you sort of walked in
Showed
together.
up all together.
So he's making an assumption, and if it's not yours, then he's got an empty room. He's
getting
He's making money off of anyway.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he got the book.
not a bad little business decision there. Okay.
He's like, oh, we do breakfast in the mornings, and we do whatever they manage to catch out there in the Unicorn Run for typically what we got for dinners. With some of our local produce and whatnot, but whatever I can get from the market fresh that day.
Sounds lovely.
It's wrong. Go ahead, check out. It'll take me probably a couple of hours to get some information over there to see what any of the rods will be willing to meet with you.
Right,
That would be great. I would still like some breakfast.
yeah, I'll take some breakfast and we'll go to a table maybe, so we can all sit and talk.
Oh, okay, give me a little bit then. So 2 for breakfast, got it.
And then he'll turn around and start disappearing. You see him brush aside one of the tapestries and head back down a small hallway.
I'll turn around and toss Murdoch a key and take my own.
Catches it on the end of her walking cane, so it kind of...
Nice.
Easy enough for you guys to find a table.
Alright.
Okay.
We're supposed to get in contact with a rod. Do you want to try to get in contact with a new rod or an old one? What do you think's better?
I'm leaning towards an old one.
Me too. Maybe we should
See what their
specify.
take on the situation is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Whichever one is more reliable, I suppose.
Also, I wonder what happened really to the other 6.
I
That's
don't.
the thing that's concerning. Why Secomber? Not necessarily the most poignant of towns. Not to be insulting. It's quite nice.
But
Must
also,
say.
why protection tax?
Well, that sounds like a.
A
Again,
good question.
I can't say mafia. I don't know what the equivalent of
Gang.
thieves guild,
against
Gang guild.
gang
Clan?
guild thing.
Control over 2 rivers,
Yeah.
or at least access to 2 rivers, can be very good for transporting
True.
things that they don't want to use the main roads for. But
True. Very true.
that's also outside of the walls. Is access to the river. It doesn't come right up inside the city
So
of
true.
the town.
But maybe to trade inside the town.
But, I mean, if they're not letting people in,
Oh right, that's true.
at least not through the main gate, I'm sure there's another. I mean, it's a wide area. Maybe there's another gate.
This fellow said that all of them were locked with the same people by them. So maybe they're all watched.
Well, and when we were coming towards it, we haven't seen most of the town, but it wasn't like there were ruffians on every street corner.
Exactly.
How tight of a grip do they really have on the town? The innkeeper is able to speak mostly freely.
yes, it
Well, if
seemed
they're
like
already.
people were just going about their normal business when we arrived.
But if they already have the leadership, I mean,
Perhaps the innkeeper could give us some advice on when or where or both of those.
didn't really seem to know. I mean, he said he doesn't leave much, if at all. But he did say he would get us, some information about where to meet these rods.
He said he doesn't leave much, but it looks like the bandits sort of came to them.
The thing is, it's not necessarily banditry that seems to be going on.
More organized than that.
Some sort of are we gonna start some sort of resistance or revolution? Because that'd be cool.
That would be fun.
Well, I think we need more information about whose side is right before we do that.
I don't know, but menacing people telling you where or where not to go is usually a bad sign. If you're locked out of a city, that's usually free for trade.
It's only a step away from a regular town guard. But I see your point.
True.
I mean, if another town is doing that, maybe they were something horrible gone inside and they were trying to keep people out so they don't disturb what was going on. A plague. There's reasons not to let people into the city.
Well, the people outside didn't tell us as such, and neither did this fellow didn't tell us about a plague. So I bet that there's something else afoot.
I just know that you would very much so not enjoy Baldur's Gate. The Flaming Fist are... Well, they are a flaming handful. I will give you that.
Alright.
I look around and then if nobody's really watching us, I secretly sort of over here, like, light my hand on fire and then put it out.
For the flame.
That's funny.
I thought it fit.
A few minutes later, your new friend comes out carrying 2 decently sized trays of food. It seems to be various different types of like smoked fish and some local produce. A very nice, actually, sort of like a pickled cucumber salad with it.
Delightfully fresh. Better than what we get on the ships for a while.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, and you'll be having some company finding you, just to make sure you're on big ladies with you if you decide to go out. I don't want to be looking for her.
Oh.
Sort of stands out around here.
I see.
Gives a little nod and starts heading back towards the bar.
I actually, excuse me. I
Yes.
just sorry. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I was just a little shy. You seem like your time is wasted behind a bar. But besides my point, I did have a quick question, because you've said that business has been good. At least your business has been good. Has business been good around all of the town?
Other than most people are too busy paying the tributes, but my business doing just fine.
Yes, the tribute. And what if you cannot pay it?
Well, no, the tribute different from the tax. So the tax we've been paying since these new rods been showing up, but the tribute, you either pay or you get thrown out of the city. The tribute, the only thing that's keeping them hobgoblins from coming back in here and burning us down.
Hobgoblin troubles.
Yeah, there's what do they call them? The tribe.
The Legion?
The group of them. Weird, like, animalistic type with them weird, like, big wolf things that they be riding on. They got all sorts of problems. That's why we got I guess I'll call them the walls, because there's so many different types around this place, but That's why we got all the malls. But ever since a few years back, we've been paying them tribute, dropping off of their hidey hole. As long as they get their tribute each month, well, everything's just all right.
But so now you have to pay a tax on top of the business and those that live. You have to pay a tax on top of the tribute because of your new leadership.
That's correct, yes. So we're paying the protection tax to these new rods and their little ensemble.
But then what do you need? I'm a little bit old. So perhaps maybe it's being a bit confusing to me. But what exactly are you being protected from if your main threat is handled by the tribute?
He just sort of looks and runs his fingers through his greasy hair a little bit. I don't know, the rods all did vote, and we were told to pay a protection tax, so...
All right.
I don't want to go up and be put on no trial, judgment of my peers and whatnot, so...
No, of course not. And I mean, I love the place here, so I'm very happy that you've been able to do well for yourself. You have a very, very fine business. But they don't pay the tribute and they get thrown outside the walls. What happens if you cannot pay the protection tax? A similar fate? We arrived by boat, so the hobgoblin issue is one that I have just been made aware of.
If you don't pay the protection tax, what usually happens is they just start claiming your belongings and your things, and then they will sell them off until they get enough to pay it. If you don't have enough belongings, then they take you home, and then they will sell that off, and then they use that to pay it.
And then eventually you cannot pay the tribute either because all of your things have been repossessed, and then out the walls you go.
That certainly does seem that would make sense, yeah.
That sounds like quite a slippery slope, so I hope that you stay on the up and up about it, and thank you again for the food.
Enjoy.
He turns to leave. I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make him sound like he farts. Because he called me a big distinctive lady. And I do not like that.
Are you trying to be sneaky about this casting of this?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Ooh, 15?
Okay, let me take
Better
a
for me
look
than
here at what his passive is. I don't think he can match that, but never hurts to double check. Oh yeah, no, yeah, he has no idea what you just did.
Okay.
And as he starts to walk away, everyone in the bar hears that loud. It seems to just emanate from his hindquarters. He's like, ooh. He's looking around, looking sort of at himself like.
I also noticed that Lydia has done this, and I will, at the same time or just after, jury craft a pleasant smell in his area.
This poor man.
Just walking away, the two of you who noticed, well, again, all of you have noticed the smell. Anyone who's got a better passive than a 15 would notice that Lydia did something. But as he's walking in, this happens, and he's like, it's one of those like, holy shit, was that me? It sounded like it was me. I didn't think it was me. And then all of a sudden, this weird odor, and it's like, strawberries and lavender. What the? He seems really confused right now. Yeah, a couple of people that you really haven't seen too much about them that are sitting up at the bars and everything, just chuckling to themselves over in the corner.
A protection tax on top of a protection tribute.
And not much in the way of what they're being protected from, it seems like.
Well, the second time. I mean, the first one is a problem.
Right, but to pay two a tax and a tribute.
And if you can't pay, then they just start repossessing your goods. You know, taxes in a way is like banditry in that regard. So perhaps that is simply what is happening here. And there's just a building full of gold and stolen, repossessed goods. It's all legal from my background, but it is legal theft.
But what
Who's
if
writing those laws?
the people that took over and made the laws murdered the people that they took over from?
The tavern keepers seemed quick to not want to insinuate that those that took over were directly responsible, which seems like that is the thing that needs to be discovered. What really happened, as you said. Otherwise, they can just keep taking gold and goods, and there's really no one that can stop them.
And after a while, nobody's going to have anything left if they're not letting trade into the city. Well, why don't we eat this lovely spread and then go out wandering and see if somebody spots Lydia.
Right?
Well,
Sounds
he
good, I
did
guess.
say that we could expect the rods, correct?
Yeah, looking for me.
Oh. Okay. I just misunderstood that.
You know, he said if you guys basically if you guys leave the building to make sure that you bring Lydia with you, as he basically
Because
told
she'll
them they
betray
basically
them.
told them to look for a giant furbolg.
Easiest person to identify. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, these
Yeah.
people were looking
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Look for the giant lady.
The tallest person of the group, yeah.
A bunch of you, those of you who are eating, enjoy your meals, and then you have the remainder of the day is yours.
Go like set about and get a vibe with the town maybe and see where everyone seems how everyone seems to be reacting to this new force.
You could, wander around, see what's going on.
Yeah.
See how many guards
Sure.
are loitering.
I think we could try and speak with other businesses and workers and see how this tax is affecting more of the common person.
Mm.
Fixes her tie.
Oh, I never have zone. You have zone of truth. Oh, good. I don't have zone of truth.
I do.
Ah, good.
I used it on you.
Oh, I don't have it prepared today.
Lydia, you know that's really, really rude, right?
Well, yes.
It's kind of like when Sarah tried to drug us. That's just not cool.
You're trying to drug us.
Yes, our breakfast that
Were
day.
you the last one to find out?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
no one
She
told
tried
Lydia.
to-
And
I'm going to add that to my phone.
Sarah just sort of looks down. I wasn't drugging. I was just trying to start conversations truthfully. Adding a little, truth syrup in my tea.
Unlike
I drank that tea.
Everybody did, Lydia.
Yes, you did, and then you told us you farted.
Yes, I did. Seemed important at the time, to be honest with you all.
Murdoch is slowly building up in her mind currently the very tangible possibility that this old lady is a hag. Like big Fae vibes from her. But that's just up in here right now.
Well, on that note, let's go talk to the town.
I get up.
Pardon. Okay. So as you guys get up and start heading out, and head back out into the, at this point, sort of mid-morning air. As you come out again, you're sort of in this little, I guess I'll say depression in the city. And around you have basically these, I'll call them 3 hills, as they're all above you. You've got one to the west, one to the east, and one to the north. As you're looking, the one to the west seems to have what looks to be almost like a small fort built upon the top of it. Given the way it looks, pretty safe assumption would be some sort of like a guardhouse or I'll call it like a military installation, somewhere the guards or barracks, something like that. To the east, you see what looks to be a single larger building. It's hard to see what it, like you can't make out any sort of writing or anything from this far away from it. And then to the north, it seems to the very sort of top of this sort of slight mound. It seems to be a clearing with a small something in the middle of it. Again, at this distance, past the other houses and things, it's hard to see what it is.
Now I ask the big question, are you a split the party kind of adventuring group, or is this sort of a walk all together in a big little gaggle kind of group?
Together, people are looking out for me. Personal.
Yes, and I kind of look over at Sarah. Usually when we split up, Sarah gets into trouble.
Yes, I
You know,
can.
maybe we should stick together.
Yes.
I can vouch for that.
Because you've been there most of the time.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it is wise to not go alone, so...
I mean, trying to stop her some of the times, but
Well, love, we look like we got 3 hills. Which one do we want to go on first?
well, one looks like possibly a barracks. I don't know if that's where we would want to find ourselves first, or
Not really townspeople-y.
If that other building is some sort of possibly temple or something like that, then that might be where there might be a good gathering of townsfolk. Or possibly it's some sort of like townhouse where maybe they have court hearings, of which I'm familiar with. I don't know.
then we could head that way then, if that's all right with everyone.
Works for me.
Works for me too.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So it's the...
Oh no.
Jesus.
My poison is beginning to take effect.
So, you guys said you're heading to the east one, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So,
I was nodding. Sorry.
I believe that was the east, based on the description.
You guys don't seem to have good interactions with guards, so I'm okay with going not in the direction of the barracks.
sorry, give me 1 second. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry. Needed some medicine. Okay. So you guys start making your way up along this, and again, it's sort of a long, winding path that wraps around and then sort of cuts back around to this building. But as you eventually start walking around, you are starting to see more and more people starting to come out of their house, heading down. Again, as you're heading up and down this, you start to see people coming down with like different, almost like small 2-wheeled carts and things. Looks like they're potentially heading down to some sort of a market area somewhere within the city. But eventually you start finding your way along up here, and you come up to this building, which, as you arrive, sort of turn the corner and start rounding back around to the front of this building, you see a sculpture. I want everyone to go ahead and make a religion check for me.
It was that. Maybe. Mm-hmm.
13.
19.
Oh, okay.
15.
I'm sorry, what was that for
10.
you?
15.
Okay.
10. Not big on gods.
7.
Okay, and just let me roll one for Sarah here. No, Sarah doesn't know. So any of you who rolled a 15 or above would recognize this image. It seems you're coming up to the front of a temple. And the sculpture you're seeing appears to be a large skeletal hand reached up like this, holding a set of scales.
Oh, is it my boy Kelvor?
We have been to a temple of Kellenborg before.
And you recognize this as a temple of Kellenvor.
Yes, my boy.
Formerly known as Kellenvor Lionsbane, Lord of the Dead and Judge of the Damned.
I do agree with this one. This one's pretty cool.
As you start moving, getting a little closer towards it, there is a looks to be a small plaque or sign near the front of the building. Advising that this seems to be where anytime there is a trial held, it is held at this building.
I swear I didn't read ahead. My prediction game is just it was both. My prediction. I just know small towns really well. Well, it would seem that
It's
Murdoch
almost
is
like the
3
lawyer
for
sniffed
3.
out the courthouse.
That's kind of it. And I was like, haha, what if the bandits took over the town? So Murdoch is 3 for 3.
Kind of looking at you like, wait, are you like, are you in on this?
When you've been to as many towns as I have, they get unfortunately repetitive, but it does help going from one town to another.
Well, I guess it shows that I haven't been to very many towns.
I'm sorry. She seems like kind of legitimate. She allowed to travel. But this would definitely be someplace that could probably get you all some answers. Us. Sorry, we're an us. Yes.
Is there any point in going in? Do we need to...
Doors seem to be open.
Do we see any people about?
No one's sort of like milling about outside. You guys are still down at the bottom of the stairs. So think of it as if you've ever like driven through in your own local area, like the small county courthouse. There's probably about 25 to 30 steps leading up towards this front door. And it's a large double door. You can see it has been pushed open. The doors are open, so you know this, and again, we'll call it a temple where it does have a religious emblem outside. It seems like it is open for business, so to speak, but you don't see anybody sort of milling about outside right now. You're welcome to walk up to the doors, stick your head in, see if you can see anything, or...
If these gods are keepers of the law, then they would at least probably have someone that's here. Or, you know.
Yes, we walked
I guess
here,
why
so
not?
we might as well take a look inside.
Okay, so as you start to head up, who
I
is?
could make this looking into temples thing a real thing, like actually go to cities and see temples, and then it wouldn't be a lie all the time, guys.
It really has just been temple to temple to temple.
At least in the last couple of days for him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
but you
pious.
start making your way up, and as you get to the front door, you see a rather diminutive individual go scampering by, just probably about 15-20 feet in, just runs across the hallway in front of you. This would be a rather only about maybe 3.5 feet tall, long black hair pulled back in a single ponytail, just right across the hallway in front of you.
I didn't think you were allowed to run in these sorts of places.
Oh, you're not supposed to, but sometimes, the passion gets into you and you feel obliged to, sometimes do whatever you're called to do.
Sometimes you're late.
Sometimes you're also late.
I'll go right on in and just look around into this building.
Oh, okay, as you start looking around, you see that there, you walk in, right in that first area, just sort of opens up almost immediately, just to a sort of a large chamber in this first probably 20-25 feet. A couple of large pillars running floor to ceiling in front of you. And you can see that there is just rows of books on the left-hand side. Right-hand side seems to have a stairway leading up to a second floor. And you can see off in the distance, there seem to be just rows of what looks to be church pews, is the best way I can describe it. And then there's more further back, but it seems to, I'll phrase it, sort of disappear off in the darkness. It's not really dark within here, but it's just at this distance it starts to get a little dim for your vision to see that far in. And then after a couple of moments, as you're just sort of walking and looking, coming back from that left-hand side again, popping out from sort of behind one of those pillars, just running back, just all of a sudden turns, looks, oh, hi, how can I help?
Oh, we're just looking around. We're new to town, and we were, I'm from the Temple of Njord, and these are my friends, and we're just stopping by to see, what's going on.
Is there a dispute? Do you have a case? Is there another trial today?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Murdoch, why don't you talk to the trial stuff? Attorney at law.
Hello.
There wasn't a trial. Now there's a trial.
There is no trial as far as I've been informed, but I am, I'm a representative of the law that's been sent up from Baldur's Gate. There was a trial earlier today, though, you say, yes?
Yes, there was one earlier, but... well, it's already said and done. They've already completed it.
Yes, I understand that. You sound nervous. Is there something wrong?
It's just there's a lot going on. I'm still trying to file everything from that thing earlier.
Then you are actually the person that I was hoping to speak with. Yes, I was sent actually to help with some of the paperwork. I have some of my own if you need to reference any of it, but I was supposed to transcribe something, get a few copies. Do you not want any assistance? I was told that I was supposed to... What is your name again? I don't think I caught it.
No one asked. I'm Clotilde Hartfoot.
I was told to speak to a Hartfoot because there was a delay on some paperwork, that someone wanted it very, very badly and said that it had needed to be done very quickly, and so I offered to come